So I'm having some morning coffee thoughts I wanted to share. In the mornings, after I get up and move my body a little bit, brush my teeth, wash my face, I drink a lot of water. And then when I'm having coffee, I like to step outside. I try to get daylight in my eyes within the first 30 minutes of waking. That has a lot to do with setting your circadian rhythm, suppressing the melatonin, so you come into a wakeful state and you make more melatonin later when you need it in a sleep state. I've talked about that a lot. So I come outside, and sometimes I come outside to move right away and I have energy and I just want to move my body. Or sometimes I don't have the energy, but I still want to move my body. And sometimes I feel in the flow to just my saying sit and observe. And sometimes I'm observing just my beautiful surroundings and connecting with myself and my surroundings. This redwood tree I look at all the time just seems to really, I feel very connected to it. And of course, the natural beauty around me. And sometimes my thoughts are going. I have one of those brains that never wants to shut off. I've worked on that a lot. And today my thoughts were going, but they weren't, plaguing me with any kind of overthinking. It was thinking about some projects I'm working on that I feel really excited about. One of them being about women's hormone health. And I'm going to put it in air quotes because this word has all this stigma attached to it. Menopause. Oh, I didn't do the air quotes at the same time. Clearly I need more coffee. Let's have a sip. So, I believe that had I in my 20s known what I know now about taking charge of your health and getting labs done and seeing functional medicine doctors and knowing about your own levels at different times in your life, I would have set myself up differently. But no matter, that's here nor there. Now is now. I've been taking extreme charge of my. I don't say extreme in a admonishing way. I say I'm praising that. Take full charge of my own health for quite a long time now. I want to know where I am at different times in my life and what I need to do to support my well-being. And our hormone levels are important for us to know about from prepubescent all the way through our full lives, because at different stages in life, these hormones and how they speak to our neurotransmitters, and then how they speak to our brain and our body, and that whole system and that whole connection really, really matters to how we feel emotionally, how we feel physically, how we feel psychologically. And so I have this wonderful partnership with Provenance. They're a very clean, healthy, wonderful meal delivery service, primarily in New York and Los Angeles, who I really love and align with. And they're all about clean and intuitive. I've been talking a lot about intuitive, trusting your intuition, intuitive movement. Even coming out here in the mornings is intuitive. I might have a plan for my workout or movement session, and it might completely change based on what my intuition is telling me. So they're all about, a lot of intuition and knowing your own bodies. And especially right now about women's hormone health. And so I'm working on something with them, and I want to talk about my journey through hormone changes, perimenopause, and menopause, which I'm currently in, and I have no apology about, because there need not be one. This stigma that's attached to the word is just another unfortunate cultural, long time, archaic, nonsensical things that we've been living with. It's like we might as well use it interchangeably with things like, you hear words like thigh gap. That's become like this catchphrase. Whether one is praising it or admonishing it, you'll see that all over social media, one or the other. Oh, there's the wrist brace. So it's another stage in life, just like we all, and by the way, men, women, all of us, any gender, that you identify with. Everyone is born with both testosterone and estrogen pathways, and makes those hormones at different levels at different times in life, of course. And men, by the way, you do not want to lower your own estrogen levels or you'll have no libido. FYI, another story, another time, another science lesson. But one thing I was really wanted to do was support my well-being as this sort of all started. I was in perimenopause for a very long time, which one can be. And I work with an integrative nutritionist and functional medicine doctors and Western MDs. Like, I have this wonderful team of doctors who are all, by the way, regardless of their schools of thought, holistic or Western or Eastern, integrative, meaning take the full picture approach. I mean, it was my internist, my, regular everyday doctor, who's the one who got me to start meditating when I was needing to take Xanax for panic attacks. Changed my life. Anyway, so now I'm really careful to look at all of my labs and blood work and stuff throughout the months and see where I am and where my levels are so I can best support my own well-being. And I'm going to say this, and in my world of wellness and the areas I tend to live and travel in, this can be a bit of some admonish this as well. I take hormone replacement therapy, not bioidenticals, actual hormones. And that was a decision I made based on my own body, my own team of healthcare providers, and what we looked at with my history, my family's history, my own personal intuition of my body and what it needed. And that's working very well. In lots of ways, it improved my sleep. It improved my cognitive brain function and my energy levels, and really my overall mood and well-being when I was suffering before. So I wanted to open this conversation up in the part of I'm doing some research before I put out a bigger blog for Provenance Meals that I'm working on with them about my menopause journey and all of that, just to allow other women to, whether you're going through it or not, have been through it, everyone who identifies as female and is going to go through it. And it's something to be celebrated. It's actually a celebration of shift and growth. And I talk a lot about, I've said before, my age is my superpower. And in my 50s, I have a more confidence, more self-esteem, and more ability to set boundaries. I'm an empath and a highly sensitive person who's been a giver and a pleaser my whole life, at sometimes at the detriment, at a lot of times detriment to myself. But I always say it's a hard-won confidence, because you have to be willing to go through the dark and the painful and learn from them. But I'm going to be talking about this, and I'm going to be talking about the freedom of talking about it, the freedom of making menopause a conversation that is just a regular conversation, just like, oh, she's going through puberty, which, by the way, parents know this about your teens, because a lot of my work in the world that's I'm building in my future right now is working with lots and lots of teens, which I feel really good about. It's very meaningful to me. Puberty is where, and I know everyone knows what it is, but it's important for parents to know there is more change happening during puberty than any stage in any person's life. There's more biological, physiological, and brain change that is going on at any other stage in anyone's life on a biological level. So keep that in mind. Try to remember when. And again, I just wanted to open this up and talk about how we can bring it into our conversation. And I'm so ready to help women find where they need to go with it and what will best support them. Hormone replacement therapy is certainly not for everyone. Lots of people do really well on bioidenticals. Some people do well with Chinese herbs. Some people do well with just lifestyle changes. I made some of those too, trust me. I needed to turn down the volume also on my workaholic nature. I had to, because it was completely depleting my energy. I had adrenal fatigue, and it was a big change in my life, turning down the workaholic volume. I still am challenged by it, but I practice it all the time. But that was one of the biggest changes that I made, and that's been amazing. So, hormones, bioidenticals, Chinese herbs, nothing, lifestyle, fitness. I changed my fitness routine. I do a lot more where I pick up heavy things than I used to ever do for my bones. Of course, Pilates has resistance, and I believe in all the body weight stuff I do, and all the method that I teach, and the biomechanics and the Pilates and the yoga in every way. But I do pick up weights. I don't do them in an isolated way, arms, back, chest. I do them in full body compound movements. But that's helped a lot too. But everybody's different. Every body is different, and it's really important we maintain a celebration of that as well. And I'm happy to talk to anyone about this. I really am. My brand, my title, Jessica Schatz, the core expert method. The tagline is where spirit aligns with science. So how you feel is very important to me. That, to me, my whole mission and purpose in life is to fortify you in the belief that you can feel better and life can keep getting better. And then with that belief, empower you to take the steps to make it so. And then offer all the guidance and tools and education that I have at my arsenal, which is a lot. And it's why I consider myself an educator more than anything else. In terms of my work in the world and part of my who am I. I'm a mover, I'm a breather, I'm an educator. And we are here to continue to educate ourselves and each other and teach ourselves to have compassion for ourselves and each other and self-nourish ourselves and care for ourselves so that we may better show up for each other and the collective. So, these are my coffee thoughts this morning. I hope you've enjoyed the birds, and it's time to really move my body now. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, have a great day.